Hey, hi, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It is time for our March TBR. Forewarning, I made a new game. We'll talk about it here in a minute. First, we're going to do our February wrap-up to make sure we don't get a punishment. Okay, so book 1 was a Second Chance Authors Challenge. I chose Dark Hope by Christine Feehand, and I read it. Number 2 is a 25 Before 2025 book. I chose The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson, and I read it. Book 3 was a book swap pick, and I chose Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, and I read it. Book 4 was Steampunk. I chose Imprudence by Gail Carriger, and I read it. Book 5 was an ebook. I chose Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, and I read it. Book 6 was a Favorite Authors Recommendation Challenge. Ali Hazelwood was my author. My book was A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal, and I read it. Book 7 was another 25 Before 2025 pick, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I book swapped this for the Paradise Problem, so technically check. Book 8 was a cover color black. I chose The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, and I read it. My punishment for last month was a girl on the cover. I chose One Grave at a Time by Janine Frost, and I read it. In my extra challenges, I had my Microtrope Challenge, which was a taboo romance. I chose Love Me by Red Phoenix, and I read it. And then I had a Beyond the Bookshelf Challenge, Second Chance Romance. I chose Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren, and I read it. So I read all my books, no challenges needed. Let's go to Face to Face Me, and we will talk about the new game that I made. So let's go to that. Hello, so welcome to my new book game, which I am calling the Bookish Gauntlet. Let's talk about these. As you can kind of see, there's a starting point up here called the Trial by Fire, and then one down here called the Path of Whimsy. There's a lot of different colors on here. I have a nice key. But the point of this is something I haven't seen before. There's 2 starting spots. One's going to be a hard path, so all of the colors I have up here before you get to the end spot. Till you get to the end spot right there. So a lot of path, a little bit of path. However, these colors up there are not quite so easy. There's a lot of blues or hard prompts. There's 2 book series binges, which I also have 2 in that long path as well. There's more challenge reads and challenges and playing games. There's just more hard stuff up there. There's no book swaps. I don't think I gave myself a book swap up there either. I do want to talk so you can kind of see what that looks like. I do want to talk about some of the new things I have on here. So you notice, play a game. I got this from Amanda Reads and Writes. She plays different games. I'd love to have a spot that would prompt me to play a new game. Kind of as a challenge as I do now, so like up to 5 books or so, 5 or 6 books, which is what I would normally play for a TBR game. And just collecting books that way for my TBR sounds like a fun time. I have my challenge read from last time. I have start a new challenge, which I had last time too. It's actually still the same symbol and everything. Then my 25 Before 2025 jar I have on there because I want to make sure to prioritize my 25 Before 2025 books. I have my anticipated releases, which is a spread in my book journal. I have series binge, which means I have to read at least 2 books in the same series, and I can do more than 2 if I'm really into the series and it's like one of my shorter, my Trial by Fire, and I only get like 3 or 4 prompts. I might do 3, but for my easy path I'm going to do at least 2. Book swap is the same. She's okay. She does it a lot. The easy, medium, and hard prompts are very similar from my previous game. However, I have added some harder ones and some of my jar ones and some of the spins that I used to do, like randomize my book color, randomize Goodreads. It starts with those kinds of things are now just mixed in there instead of being separate. And then my double easy prompt. So I have to do 2 prompts for 1 book. So that is what the new game looks like. And we're going to start with the easy path. So let's go ahead and get into roll number 1, so we can just play this thing and you can see how it works. Alright, let's start with roll number 1. We're going to do the easy path this time. Roll number 1 is play a game. So let's spin our spinner wheel to see what game we're going to be playing. Okay, so I got bingo. So let's do a fast forward version of me playing this bingo game to see what bugs I get. Okay, so as you saw, I got two bingos. So I looked through it. I chose my diagonal bingo. I chose 5 books for each of the prompts, and I am going to nail that down to Deep End by Ali Hazelwood for the romance prompt amongst these. This is her 2025 release. I think it released last month. I think sports romance, swimmers and divers, Stanford, Golden Boy, opposites attract, secret hookups, and he falls first. Alright, let's get on to roll number 2. So roll number 2 is randomize a bookshelf. Let's go to the clip I've got where we're going to randomize our bookshelf and pick a book. We're going to get to that. Okay, so there you can mostly see my shelf. I have read everything from here down for our monthly read along, all of the hardback. So the paperback books I've read some of, but we're going to get into those. So let me go randomize. So we had a 6, and there's like 10 on the shelf that I haven't read, so this should be interesting. I've read this one, I've read this one, I've read this one. So we would be going 1, 2, 3, 4. I've read 5. I've read 6. So looks like we are going to read Bride of the Shadow King. Alright, look at that. I chose my Buy Me Box shelf, and I got Bride of the Shadow King by Sylvia Mercedes. Think slow burn, romantasy, shadow daddy, magic and fae, strong female character, arranged marriage, and a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Alright, roll number 3. A book series binge, so I have to read at least 2 books in a series to be considered fulfilling this prompt. So it's not the easiest one, but it's really fun at the same time. Anyways, I'm going to continue the series I restarted last month. The first one was Prudence by Carriger. The second one is Imprudence, and the third one is Competence. So Imprudence, think steampunk, multiple engagements, political intrigue, vampires and werewolves, historical fantasy, impulsive female main character, and floaty airships. And for Competence, again, think steampunk, accidental abandonment, political intrigue, vampires and werewolves, historical fantasy, Singapore, and pirates. Let's get on to roll number 4. So roll number 4 is a creature fantasy, and I'm going to choose A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I'm not sure if this is considered the last one in the series, but I'm pretty sure it's the last one in her Freya's point of view. Anyways, the next one in the ACOTAR series. So I'm trying not to give any spoilers here, but think romantasy, games of deceit, political intrigue, impending war, shadow daddy, fae, and a strong female character. Roll number 5. Is a TikTok challenge. Okay, so I'm gonna go on TikTok and watch a couple videos and see what we land on.
They're thrillers on the darker side.
Alright, I like the look of this one, so you know I'm trying to read more sci-fi. So, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, also the author of The Martian, which I enjoyed that movie, but I haven't read the book. It's still on my list, but you know. So again, think sci-fi, sole survivor, last chance mission, must save humanity, deep space, and a ticking clock. Alright, let's get on to roll number 6. Roll number 6 is straightforward, it's just a mystery. So I'm going to choose The Ritual Bath by Faye Kellerman. This is a rec from my dad. It's also part of that bingo, the bingo challenge, so that's good that I'm getting 2 on there in the same month. Anyways, think a crime thriller, a maze of religious rules, Orthodox Jewish community, rape and murder, flirty detective, and a young widow. Alright, let's get on to roll number 7. So roll number 7, which is our last roll, is another challenge. And it's if you like this, then you'll like this. Or if you like this, then you'll like that. book challenge. So let's get on Gower and see what I can find. Alright, so I found this BookBub on TikTok video that I liked a lot of the books on, so I figured this would be a good suggestion. It's If I Like Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True, which I read in January and it was a 5-star. This one, I think it's a psychological thriller, missing child, friends to enemies to friends / allies again, dark secrets, a debut novel, and a lot of guilt. Alright, so that's it for my TBR game. I do have a lot of extras that I do need to read this month, so I have a long list of books. So let's get on to the first one, which is my Microtrope Challenge, and it needs to be a small town romance. I am choosing The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Guilmore. Think grumpy sunshine, insta-love, quirky townsfolk, tight-knit community, slow burn, mystery. Then I have the Buzzwordathon. So the first one is the word thing in the title, and I am choosing An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Think sci-fi mystery, The Chosen One, a mysterious robot, internet fame, dehumanization, and humor. For the Buzzwordathon cover, it's books on the cover, and I'm choosing Thank You for Listening by Julia Whelan. Think enemies to lovers, audiobook narrators, hidden identities, online connections, emotional intimacy, and second chances. And I think that's second chances at love in general, not with that specific person. Then I have the Book Girls Guides, the Book Lovers Challenge, and this one is modern retellings. And so I chose Midnight Ruin by Katee Robert. This is book 5 in a series. It's for Orpheus and Eurydice, protective hero, spicy romance, dark urban fantasy, polyamory, and violence and guns. Sounds like a good time. I cannot wait. I love this series. And then I have, for Beyond the Bookends Challenge, a middle grade fantasy, and I'm choosing The Troubled Girls of Dragomir Academy by Ursu. Think monsters attack, mysterious school of wayward girls, a special letter, magical abilities, female empowerment, questioning authority, and found family. And then finally, my last book on my TBR from March, is my read-along book for my Bite Me Box monthly subscribers. We do a 4-part read-along for most books, and this one is Angstorm by Rebecca Yaros. Of course, this is a book 3, so if you don't know what it's about, it's a romantasy. It's a spicy romance. A war school / actual war happening, dragons and dragon riders, enemies to lovers, brutal magic, and political intrigue. Alright guys, those are the shit ton of books that I am reading in March in my new book game. Let me know if you like the Bookish Gauntlet. Let me know what you are reading in March. Let me know what's on your TBR. And I would love to know how you guys choose your books. That's always a lot of fun. Anyways, me and my kitties are going to go back to reading. And I will see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye!